AroundTheCabin.com is proud to have UVPacklight.com as a sponsor. UV Packlight is the reliable light source, never needs batteries, bulbs, or electricity, and lasts, well, forever. Recharges off any light source. UV Packlight is waterproof, lightweight, and durable, made right here in the good old USA. When you order from UVPacklight.com, use the coupon code RICHTheRidgeHunter. That's coupon code RICHTheRidgeHunter. UVPacklight.com.
All righty. Well, let's see here. Hi, how's everybody doing tonight? Hi, country, you with me here? Get you to come into the room. Unmute yourself, bring yourself in. You there?
I'm here, brother. How's it going?
Oh, I'm doing quite well myself. How about you?
I'm all right.
Well, that's good. As long as we're still kicking, I guess it still counts.
Cook me a good supper, belly's full. I'm going to do my show, and then I'm going to bed. I'm tired.
You're tired. Well, I'm going to stay up and watch Point Shooter show. Actually, I have to stay up.
I'm going to watch his show, too. It'll be 10 o'clock time I get in bed, but yeah. I wouldn't miss my protege show there. He's a pretty good old boy.
Yeah, it's late for me at 10 o'clock, dagnabbit.
I'm ugly. I need my beauty sleep, plain and simple.
Well, I can't. If I slept around the clock, I wouldn't get enough for my beauty sleep. Ain't no doubt about it there now.
Well, we could try.
Well, I've been trying for years. Ain't worked in 47. I don't think it's going to work in 47 more.
It gets worse when you get close to 53.
Yeah,
trust me.
Yeah. I don't know. I never thought I'd live this long, so who knows? We'll have to see. Well, hello to everybody in the room. Lee and Sleep and Point. Yeah, everybody who's watching outside the room. Hello to y'all. We invite you into the chat room. Y'all can come in here and hang out with the rest of us. I see you out there. I know what you're doing. So.
Why are they outside the room? Come on in, ask questions. I dare you to answer a cooking question or a canning question that I don't know. Hey. Come on in and be sociable. I don't bite, I nibble. That's only on the women.
Pull that microphone just a little bit away from your mouth. You're a little overdriving on it.
Okay, how's that right there?
That's beautiful. That's wonderful. Now, you just turn the camera off would be a lot better. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, watch it.
All righty, so you got 3 videos for us today. I know you got that up going on. And so what else is going on since the last week we talked to you? Before we play these videos, what else has been going on with you around there?
Well, everybody knows that I'm a poor boy, and I don't have that much money.
You don't have to go down that road if you don't want to.
I'm going to anyway. It don't matter.
All right.
But I went to the food bank today.
All right.
And they hooked me up pretty good. I got chicken tenders and 2 things, big packages. I guess they're sausage patties. And I got some peas and corn and spinach and carrots and some kind of Toll House flip side pretzel crackers. And I got enough food now to last me till the end of the month. I got some pears and I done good. I made me some those sausage patties tonight. I fried them up till they were almost done. I put some water in there and steamed me some broccoli on top of that. And then I poured me a can of that soup starter garlic cheese stuff on top of that and made it all garlic, sausage, and broccoli together. And then Rich the Ridge Hunter, he's a good old boy. I like him a lot. He told me how to make my rice. I put my rice in the pan and then put that much more water on top of it, brought it to a boil, turned it off and covered it. The rice turned out fantastic.
Did it work with your finger method?
It worked with my finger method.
There you go. Doesn't matter how big the container is. That's the best part about it.
I put just as much water on top of as however thick the rice was. I put that much water on top.
There you go.
And then I put my rice down and then poured all that broccoli and sausage and cheese sauce over on top of it, and I pigged out.
Now that works with white rice. Now you got long grain rice or brown rice, you may have to add a little more water to it because it takes a little longer to cook.
But I used white rice, and boy, did it taste good.
There you go. There you go.
I've been laying off the rice. It does mean things to me, but tonight it turned out real good.
All right. That's good to know. I've been playing with some tin cans. I had some... I did that corn video with a can. I saved a can, and I wound up making arrowheads out of the can tonight. And went swimming earlier today with my daughter down at the pool. And walked around the neighborhood a little bit, got a little exercise in. and been working quite hard here around the cabin. We've got a new page up that I want to tell everybody. Now, hey, come here to aroundthecabin.com. If you're watching the show later on, we have Campfire Chat. Now, at the top of the page, you'll find Campfire Chat. That is where you normally go. But on Wednesday, there's a lot of people having trouble getting over to Google Plus to talk to Avon, because Avon likes to do her show on Google Plus because she has a lot of friends over there. Well, I said, Avon, we need to get you back over here on Around the Cabin instead of being over at Google Plus. Well, we figured out how to broadcast Avon's Google Plus to the website, and we're working on putting a chat room in here, so you will be able to come to Around the Cabin on Wednesday at 8 p.m. to watch Avon's Google Hangout and chat with us right here at Around the Cabin. So if you hover over the Campfire Chat button, you will see a couple other buttons. One says G+, which is the Hangout for Avon. It's G+, HOA, which is Hangout Avon. You will see another one that says Show Archives, which they're working on. Right now we have Troy's stuff up there, but each individual host will have a show archive that will come up, and you will be able to watch one show after the next show after the next show. And if I do it right, they'll play in order. So you'll be able to see the newest show all the way back to the oldest show. So if you want to sit there and watch 5 hours of Contreeman, you'll be able to do that here eventually. That's something I'm working on around here. So now you'll be able to Wednesday night come to Around the Cabin to see Avon's show at Google Plus right here and chat with us right here. Because we're not going to be chatting over Google Plus. We're going to be chatting and watching right here at Around the Cabin.
I noticed that if you go to the show host on the webpage there, and I know it's for everybody, but I checked mine out. You've also got my Facebook up there. You got my YouTube page up there, and Rich has that for all of the people, the show host. And
I haven't put Dave's up there yet, and I don't think I have Arthur's done yet. So I've been quite busy, and we may keep your fingers crossed. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I was talking to a gentleman today who's got another player that's supposed to be able to work for us that will be no commercials, no skips, no pauses, no breaks or anything else. Supposed to be better than what we got. And it is, if we do this right, we will have unlimited bandwidth with people being able to watch. So if I had 1,000 people watching and 1,000 people in the chat room,
cool.
That's what we're shooting for. So it's going to be quite a bit going on here Around the Cabin. Now what's going to happen is we'll have to leave one server and switch over to another server, but that won't affect you all at all. You guys will see everything. You'll never notice anything moving here at the Around the Cabin. So we're looking at possibly changing servers where you have to test run the new player. We've got new members on the website who have brought us with it, like Arthur Haynes and David Canterbury and everybody else. All the good ones like Contreeman and Troy and Point Shooters joined us. And we're growing and growing and growing. We've got a couple guest people who are talking about doing articles with us. We have, like I said, the new Google Plus Hangout that will play Wednesday right here Around the Cabin. If you go to Campfire Chat and hover over that, you'll see a couple of drop-down boxes. It's the G+ HOA, which is the Hangout for Avon. So Wednesday night, you'll be able to be right here on Around the Cabin and doing that again, because we've got more shows scheduling in, more people coming on. And I'm going to tell you guys a hint. I'm going to let this go on Contreeman's show because I like country, so I'm going to let you guys know something special. You ready? Now, you guys are going to be the first ones to hear this. I think we're going to have, in the future, now this is just talking about it right now, we're going to have Chris Kane and Dave Canterbury on one show together. It will be question and answer with them. They'll have like 6 questions they want to talk about, and the other guy will have 6 questions, and they're going to talk to each other about it back and forth and discuss those things. And then after that, if we've got time and everybody's cool, we'll take questions from the room. So could you imagine that? Dave Canterbury and Chris Kane together for one show. That's going to be wild. So that's what we're shooting for. So now you guys know about the new buttons and the Google Hangout coming here. the new people coming on the show, the things that are happening. And don't forget, after this show at 9 o'clock, Point Shooter's got his. All right, now, Country, my cooking buddy, you have got a video up here that I want to play, and I can't pronounce it.
Pollo con mole.
Yeah, what he said. And to me, that sounds like holy guacamole. But yeah, okay.
You're real close, Rich.
Yeah, I'm real
it's
close.
Chicken with a Mexican chili sauce.
Chicken with Mexican chili. Now, why does that sound dangerous to me?
It ain't. It's a real. Actually, it's chili and chocolate in that sauce. Believe it or not, and it comes in a jar. It's real hard. It's got oil on top, and you rake it out, and you put it in your pan, and you add a little bit of water to it, and you stir it up, and it makes a chili chocolate gravy. And then you either boil your chicken or roast your chicken, and then you. Well, watch the video.
All right, let's play the video. We'll watch the video, okay? Mute yourself there, my friend, and I'll mute myself, and we'll let this thing play.
One more time. Cheryl and Kat, and moving on, old boy. I'm glad to see you girls here. Go for it, Rich.
All right.
Hey, guys. Welcome to Contreeman's Kitchen again. I'm going to make today, in Spanish, they call it pollo con mole, which is boiled chicken with a chili gravy. I've got a few ingredients here. It's Donna Maria mole. It's good stuff. You can find this in just about every supermarket in the Mexican aisle. If not, go to your local Mexican store. I'm going to use some garlic powder, chili powder, and believe it or not, I'm going to use some peanut butter. And you're going to say, in a chicken dish. Yes, I am. Back here in my pot, I have 6 chicken thighs boiling. They've been boiling for about an hour. I put a shot of garlic powder in there and maybe a teaspoon of the chili powder, McCormick's chili powder. And the next step is going to be kind of weird. This is abuelita, which is grandma in Spanish. It is a chocolate. I want to show you what one looks like here. It is a chocolate, sugar, and cocoa together. It comes in a round bar. We're going to use a quarter of one of these. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put this in my little bullet blender glass, and I'm going to just drop it in there, and we're going to blend her up and get that all blended up together, and then I'll get back to you and we'll start putting this together. I'll get back to you just as soon as I get a little farther down the road and show you what I've done. Our next ingredient is chili powder. Based on my mom's tradition, I'm not going to measure anything. It's going to be about a teaspoon, just to give it a little bit more fire than what it has. And I'm going to stir this up and get it all melted down. The mole is starting to melt. This is a Mexican roux, or a Cajun Mexican roux. It's going to be thick. It's going to be good. What you want to do is get all your flavors together. Once this gets totally melted here, I've got one more secret ingredient, and that would be my peanut butter. I don't know what it does to it, but it gives it a flavor that you would not believe. I've still got my chicken boiling over here. I dropped my spoon. Got my chicken boiling over here. Once this gets simmered up and all mixed together, I'm going to put the chicken into it. And when I get to that point, I'll get right back to you guys. Alright guys, I'm back. I've been letting this simmer for about 10 minutes with the mole, and I had to add about another cup and a half of chicken broth in there. So I got a total of 3 cups of chicken broth, my chili, my chocolate, and my mole. I bumped up the fire on this to medium high. The mole was not melting like I wanted it to. And I'm going to use about 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. I don't know why they put it in here, but I do know after you do put it in there, it tastes really good. So that's about 2 tablespoons right there, 2 heaping tablespoons. We're going to mix that in. We're going to get it all mixed together, and then we're going to add our chicken right into the skillet. And back here on the back burner, I got me some water heating up. I'm going to make me some minute rice, and we're going to put this over the top of the minute rice. And when I get ready to put the chicken in the mole, I'll get back to you. Let's serve us up some rice and some pollo con mole and see what's going on here. I got me some white rice. I'm going to spread that out on my plate here. Do this right. I'm going to put the chicken right on top. Reach in, I'm going to get me a little more mole. I love it with the rice, white rice. That looks pretty good. The chicken's done, it's falling off the bone. And the rice is done. This is a 1 skillet meal again, besides boiling the chicken in a pot. The chicken is done. Got plenty of flavor from the mole. This is going to be hot, but I'm going to try it anyway. I put 2 tablespoons of peanut butter in it. The peanut butter flavor is kind of strong. I'd back that off to 1 tablespoon. You got the chili flavor. I put 1 teaspoon of chili in there. I would jack that up to 2 because it's not spicy at all. It is a acquired taste. It is good. It is filling. And there is like 10 or 15 different types of mole when you go down into Mexico. This is one that's over the counter, over the shelf here. It tastes real good. If you want something different, try the chicken mole. I boiled the chicken for about 1.5 hours. It took me another 20 minutes to make my mole up. The hard thing about making mole is that when you go to melt the mole out of the jar and put it in there, it takes at least 3.5 cups of water to get that all melted down. Use your 1 tablespoon of peanut butter, not 2. And I put the McCormick chili powder in it and a little bit of garlic powder. If you guys are interested in this, give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you think. Don't knock it till you try it. It's really good. Countryman out. Have a good one.
Well, that looked pretty good. He makes somebody a really nice wife one of these days, won't he there, ladies? Phil, you back with me?
Yeah, I'm back.
All right. That looked pretty good, buddy.
I love experimenting. I should have been a scientist. I wound up being a cook, so it don't matter.
If you wound up being a scientist, we'd have another Chernobyl over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that, but it's good.
There you go. So I think it looked pretty good. I got to admit that. So how'd that rice work out for you? Worked out okay? Doing the rice that way, like I said the other week? Oh,
it turned out good. I don't know if Cheryl Ann told me or heard what I made for dinner tonight. Sure, I took those sausage patties, I fried them up, I put some broccoli on top of that, and steamed my broccoli and sausage patties together. I had a soup starter cheese sauce and garlic. I poured it over the top of that with the sausage and broccoli, and then I put that on top of some white rice. It turned out good. Okay, everybody's caught up in the room. And the rice, it turned out good. Like Rich was saying, you put the same amount of rice in your pan, and then you cover it with that amount of water. You turn it on, you bring it up to a boil, you turn it off, slam a lid on it, and walk away for 15, 20 minutes. And when I opened it back up, it was white. I fluffed it up. It was perfect. And Rich, I don't know who you said told you how to do that, but they did not lie.
A little Asian man taught me how to do that. I figure he ought to know how to do rice. So yeah, that's how he told me. He said, it doesn't matter how big the bowl, how big the pot is. You put the rice in. You put your finger in and measure the rice up to your first knuckle. Doesn't matter if it's a 3-foot round pot or a 6-inch pot. Doesn't matter. And then you fill it up with water up to the second knuckle, and you'll have just enough water to take care of the white rice. Now, if you do long grain rice or brown rice, you may have to add more water because they cook for a longer time and the steam will get out. But yep.
It turned out real good. Well, my belly's full. Like I told you, I said I'm ready to go to bed now. But I'm gonna do my show, and then I'm gonna watch my buddy's show coming up here next, Point Shooter, and then I'll talk about bed.
There you go. Now I've got this stove video from you.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen that one, Rich. It's one of my old videos.
I ain't seen it. I've never built one of these things. I have to admit that I've never built an alcohol stove.
Oh, I tell you what, my buddy, speaking of alcohol, he brought me up 4/5 of moonshine from Kentucky. He lives down by
Cincinnati. You're not supposed to talk about that on the air now. Dang.
I don't care. But it was legally bought.
And it's for medicinal purposes.
Yes.
Yes, medicinal.
I medicinally put it in my alcohol stove when I was building them because I had no isopropyl alcohol, and it works just fine.
Okay. Long as it goes for medicinal purposes, we're okay there. We don't advertise drinking, and we don't advertise making illegal substances. So we have to put that up there. But yeah, if the car breaks down, you need to drive the car. There you go. You got something to put in there and drive it around with.
Go ahead and play that one, Rich. And hey, if I can build it with the little tools that I got around here, anybody that's got a halfway workshop can make these for a living. So go ahead and play it, Rich.
All righty. Let me mute myself here.
All right, I'm back with you. I'm going to show you how to make that Bud Light stove, the alcohol stove. I know you've seen it a million times. I thought I'd do one too. Give me a thumbs up if you like it. But what you do, I don't have all the fancy tools that everybody else has. There's going to be 3 cuts. Right here between the B, the top and the bottom of the B, right in the center, you want to cut that off right there, from there out to the end. The next cut is going to be right here at this shoulder. Where it starts getting flat is where you want your second cut at. Once you take off this center section here, you'll flip it around, and what I do is make this bottom cut about 1/4 of an inch longer than this section here, and I'm going to flip it upside down and put it inside the bottom section, and then fold over the outside edge, and then drill my holes around this outside part here. I'm going to go ahead and make my cuts, and I'll get back to you when I get ready to put it together and show you what I did. I'm using a hacksaw on this. It's kind of loud, but I want to show you how you do it. If you draw the blade towards you, shift it right on off there. It gets to the end here. Just do that. I'm going to take my Dremel grill and smooth up these edges. But I thought I'd show you how to do it. All I got is a hacksaw when I make these. I'm not measuring these or anything. What I've done, I laid my hacksaw down here, and I have sat there and drawn me a straight line all the way around that with just scratching it with the hacksaw. When you go, your next measurement that you do down here is the one that you have to measure. I put about 1/4 inch. I am not going to measure it, but I will show you how it all goes together here in a few minutes. Once I make this second cut, start the next one. You want this piece that I'm going to cut off here to be 1/4 inch shorter than this one. This one will be 1/4 inch longer. To make my cut on this bottom, I've got a little piece of plastic here. It's about 1/4 inch. I'm going to lay it down. I'm going to stick my inside throat on there. I'm going to put my marker on there, nice and straight, and I'm just going to go around it, and that way I'll get me a good straight line halfway marked to where it should be. Got a green marker on a blue tin. It's not really going to work, but it'll halfway get me where I want to be. I can just barely see that line around there, and that'll be enough to cut. I don't have a black magic marker. I'd be using that. Now this line that I just done is the exact, is 1/4 inch higher than this. That way it will be on the this goes on the inside. You'll have enough to fold over. Be right back with you after I cut this piece. The intersection that goes inside your stove, I've taken and I've drilled, or not drilled, but sawed 4 slots in here about 1/8 inch deep. I hope you can see them. Right there they are. I've got them, 4 of them. One be 12, 6, 9, and 3 if you're looking at it. They're only coming down this side, the edge here, about 1/4 to 1/8 inch. That is where your alcohol goes in and seeps into the inside. That way it'll start the vapors. I'm gonna do my holes around the edge here. You want them down low enough that it will be below. This sits inside like this. You want your orifice holes to be below this. That way it goes in there, it makes your vapors and will catch fire. I'm going to drill my holes. I found an easier way to do it. I do not have a drill. I take a regular size nail and put this on the edge of my table with my utility pliers inside, and I just nail my holes through here. I'm using a little bitty finishing nail. That's all you got to use, is a little finishing nail. And your hole, the smaller the hole, the better it is. So I'm just going to use the tip of that. I'll get back to you when I get these holes and we'll start putting it together. And most people put it together by squeezing it in a vise. I have found a different way. If you don't have that, you may like the way I'm doing it. I hope everybody likes my way. It's a little bit simpler. Be right back. I'm laying this over there, taking my nail and just tapping a hole in it, and they're far enough down here that when I put this on the inside, the holes will be lower than my funnel. I've got my slots in here to where the alcohol will seep to the outer edge. Now the next important thing to do is to get this down inside and get it flat. That way your alcohol will seep into those holes, and you can see hopefully. You can see right here that that's down inside there a good 1/4 of an inch. Now here's where I'm going to part ways with everybody else. Everybody else will tell you to put this in a press and press it down and a whole bit. But I'm going to show you something that's just as simple. I've already made one here and it works excellent. And what I'm doing is just an old-fashioned hammer. I'm going to start tapping that in around the outside edge. And just keep tapping. And I'm going to fold this over. On that inside funnel. Make sure she stays flat down inside there. And I'm going to continue folding this edge over with a good old claw hammer. When I get a little closer to the end, I may have to finish bending it over a little bit with my pliers. But I'm going to get to this and I'll finish this up and I'll get right back to you and we'll fire this puppy up here in a minute. Okay, I just lit her up. You seen me make it, you seen me put it together. There's only 2 parts and a little bit of elbow grease to get this thing up and going. Your alcohol will burn on the inside until it builds up pressure, and then it will catch in the holes around the outside edge. Wished I had a black piece of paper to set this on instead of that white one. I'm going to put that right there. Maybe you can see it a little better there. Got better contrast with the blue flame going. This actually gets a little bit warm around the outside edge, but not that bad. I put about, the alcohol on the inside is up to the bottom of the bee right here. So there's about 1 ounce of alcohol in there. Once she starts cooking, it'll actually heat up the gases. The alcohol will turn to a gas on the inside contained area, and she will fire up. I don't know, I see 608. It's been going for about a minute already. We're going to do it in live time and just see how long it does take. This other little stove here, 2.5 minutes, almost 3, and she was catching. 30 seconds before I turned this video back on is when I lit this stove. I had to go in the kitchen to get a match, and I lit it in there and walked her back this way. But I want to show you in live time how long it does take and how long she'll burn. What I used to make this was my utility pliers, regular old Smith or Winchester, really. My sister-in-law got these for me a long time ago. I've actually not lost them. I used a hacksaw to do my cutting, and you see me pound that edge around with a regular hammer. And the reason I've done that is because the mother of necessity, mother of invention is necessity, and this is what I've got to work with. I did take my Dremel drill. I've got it, and I grinded the edges around where it wouldn't be sharp or anything. And she's starting to catch on this back edge over here. So it's going to be firing up here in just a second. Everybody's done their little video on this, and this is my 2 cents. You can see the flame coming out right there on the side already. Once she builds up a little bit of pressure, she's going to go real good. And I just think it's neater than bubble gum. And you got an alcohol stove here that is going full blast, almost all the way done. Got a couple of holes over here on the far side. It's not lit yet. There we go. I just lit it for you. All the holes are lit. She's burning. You cannot hold your hand across the top of that. And I'll get back to you as soon as I answer this phone call. Alright guys, she's been going for about 7 minutes now, and she's doing good, and just now starting to go out over on this side, and so you get between, I'd say, good 5 and 7 minutes of burn time. That's plenty enough time to heat up some water or a can of soup. If you had to, wait till it goes out, let her cool completely down a little bit, and then put you some more alcohol back in it and start over again. With the price of these things, they're free once you make them. You can make you 2 or 3 and have a couple going at the same time. Countryman out. I just wanted to give you my version on a alcohol stove made out of a Bud Light bottle. God bless.
Alrighty. Now, that was good. That was real good. Now, can we use other, besides using the alcohol in that? I've seen people use heat and stuff like that. That's acceptable to use that? That works in there?
What are you talking about, the heat?
Yeah, that yellow bottled heat stuff.
I don't see why not.
Yep.
I've used alcohol, I've used shine, any flammable deal. I mean, I guess you could put aftershave in it. It's got alcohol in it. I mean, it might make your food smell funny, but
yeah.
Any kind of flammable. I don't know if I'd put gasoline in it or not. You probably could. It might burn too.
Gasoline and fire are not a good mixture. I wouldn't do
No.
that. No. We'd have to ask Big Dirt. Big Dirt plays with fire all the time. He would know what to put in there. So, yeah.
But, I've used isopropyl alcohol. I've used grain alcohol. Either one works fine. And, those that ain't going to feed a family of 6 or 8. But if you can throw a 1 ounce deal of that little aluminum can in your backpack or whatever, and you got a can of soup and you want to heat it up and you're out in the woods or something, you ain't going to starve to death and you'll have a hot meal.
There you go. It'd cook a can of Spam. That's what matters.
That'll work. I can handle that.
Well, we want to say hi to everybody who's inside the chat room. Hi to those who are viewing outside the chat room. That's right. We saw you sneak over there. We know where you're at. And invite you into the chat room. As I said before, we're working on changing the chat player around once again. And I believe Castle tonight or tomorrow is going to work on the chat room itself. She may be changing that. And, it's not going to be much of a difference for you guys, except for the chat room will be a little different when you come in, hopefully tomorrow night for the show. And tomorrow night's show, we are having a special show, and the first show from JC, which will be tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. JC's show will be basic knife skills and basic trap building and some common sense. Yes, getting back to some common sense. One thing I think that we need a whole lot of around here because, well, Castle and Avon and Country and everybody has to put up with me, so they need all the common sense they can get around this place. And hello to the people who have come in late, moving on, and I think that was Vicky. I'm not really sure, Vicky. I might be seeing things, but I think Vicky came into the room. It's been forever since they've been around. So, Country, besides the cooking and the building the stuff that you've done, what's going on? How's the weather up there this time of year for you?
88 degrees, and I like to die, man, when I went out to the store today. It was hot.
I'm in the 90s today.
I talked to Perry Ripto, and he's in Texas. He's 80 miles east of Texas. Yep. It was 121 there today.
121.
So I don't feel bad. I mean, I'll take my 88 degrees.
There you go. It is quite warm in certain areas. So, yeah, it's you all right over there? Breathing okay, man?
Who, me? I'm fine.
Okay. I'm just checking on you. My dog's barking in the other room, and I think my wife just came home. She had a big test over at school today. This is her midterm. Every month she does one class a month in college, accelerated courses. So, and she's holding an A average. So she's doing quite well. But we've got Castle. Now, you guys saw me as chat administrator. I'm going to be doing that for a while because Castle's getting ready to move. And Castle is going to be building, last we knew, she will be building the Around the Cabin number 2. Or cabin B, should we say, because she's moving into an actual cabin that they are going to build and live in. And got some stuff, and so we will be looking forward to later on videos from her, but she's got to get over there and get established and things like that. So she will be moving here at the end of the month, and it will be quite interesting when we start getting videos from her. So we'll say hi and all that stuff here later on. She'll be coming in after the first of the month. She'll come in, probably visit with us maybe once a month, check in and give us information, and I'll be passing news on to you all. So that's things we'll be looking forward to with her. So we got JC's show going on tomorrow night. After the show tonight, we have right away at 9 o'clock Point Shooter show coming in. And Point Shooter tonight is doing a show on stealth camping and a get home bag. He's got a scenario where he's stranded away from the house and getting back with his get home bag. And we're going to discuss the things that he may do or may not do and talk about them and ideas here in the chat room. So it's going to be hopefully a back and forth with everybody. Now, I know Contreeman has a back and forth that he really likes, so let's get to that point. I have one more video from him, but any questions in the room on Country and his cooking, his canning, the way things are going? We like some feedback from y'all. Let's see if we got any questions in the room for Country. So, anybody got anything else you guys want to throw up there? Any questions you want to ask him? Now is the time. You've got him live here. That's the time.
If anybody wants to get on my Facebook or YouTube or Around the Cabin, you can send me an email through there. Yep. I'm open to all suggestions. If I don't know it, I do know people that do know the answer, so I can get back to you and get the answer. Do I know everything? So, no, but I do. What I don't know, I can find for you.
Lee says, so what are the South's most famous jams and jellies?
We had 8 plum trees in our backyard, and my mom made a whole bunch of plum jelly, muscadine jelly. We used to make that. Peach preserves. I love my strawberry jam. If you can get your strawberries from Watsonville, California, there's the only place in the world to get your strawberries from. I make my strawberry jam out of that.
I don't know that, but I do know what the Southern Belle mating call is, because I got a sister. Anybody know what the Southern Belle mating call is?
Y'all come back now?
No. Woo-wee, I think I had too much to drink. What is muscadine? Muscadine is the wild grapes. Muscadine grapes are grapes that you find outgrowing wild. Muscadine grapes were brought here in the United States. They bred with the wild grapes, and if you're lucky enough to get muscadine grapes growing, I do have some growing right here. I have a video up on muscadine grapes that I have. And if you're going to pick grapes, you need to know which grapes are edible and which are not, and there's a couple identifying things, and you need to find that out, because you can really do yourself some harm getting the wrong grapes. So, Country,
Yes.
when you canned chicken,
Hmm.
you canned it bone in or bone out?
You can do it either way. I got yelled at for leaving it bone in because you got to pick the bones out when you go to take it out of the jar. Well, let me tell you a little story.
Well, wait a
If you
minute. Wait
take,
a minute now. If you bone, you can cook it bone in with the
yes, sir.
bones in. You did that. You put it in a jar, so you have to take it out. I don't have a problem with that, but go ahead.
If you cook it, if you boil your chicken, debone it, and put it in a jar, like everybody on YouTube, you have to pressure cook it for 90 minutes. Because I don't know why, but it's just meat. Every ball meat, it's got to be pressure canned for 90 minutes. But even in the ball book, you can look it up. If you leave I like canning chicken thighs. I love my dark meat. I love big old chunks of meat. I put thigh, bone, and all in the jar. And with bone in, you only cook it for 75 minutes. Why? I don't know, but I do believe that the bones on the inside helps it cook from the inside out quicker. And plus, you get all the
Where's all your flavor at?
in the bones, in the
There you go.
marrow.
Yeah. I cook it with the bone in myself, so that's the way I do it.
And I talked to a few of my friends that after you boil your chicken, take those bones, skin, and everything, throw them back in a pot, fill it up with water, and put that on simmer and let it cook all night long. And the next morning, you got the most golden, pretty chicken broth you ever had in your life. Strain off your chicken broth and your bones and everything. And when you go to can your chicken or whatever, can your broth up too. And this winter, when there's 2 foot of snow on the ground, you pull that chicken broth out, you heat it up, you throw you some egg noodles in there, and 15 minutes later, you got the best homemade chicken soup you ever had in your life.
There you go. Now I like to take my chicken broth when I do stuff here at the house, and I save the bones and everything. I boil my chicken broth up, and then I will take the chicken broth and I put it in ice cube trays, and I
Yep.
freeze it, and then I bag it from there. And then when I want to add just a little chicken flavor to something, and I don't want to use a whole lot of broth or have to defrost it that way, I can take out as many chicken broth ice cubes and add them to different things for flavor that way. I do the same thing with pork and beef and other stuff like that. I can do all those. And yes, I do make vegetable broth and beef broth and pork broth and do that up. So, yeah, I have no problem with that. I just mark them all, put them in the freezers, and go that way. Of course, you could can it. Like you said, you could can the broth. That would work also.
It works real good. My guardian angel got me some chicken broth and beef broth. I made some vegetable soup here the day with the beef broth and celery and carrots and cabbage, and it turned out real good. I bouillon cubes or granules versus homemade, there is no comparison. The homemade is a whole lot better. Alligator works too, Lee.
Yep. No, alligator chicken wing. Yeah, they take them the jumbo chicken wings that are actually alligator arms there. Oh, that's good stuff there, boy. So yeah.
I watched 2 videos on how to clean a coon this week and how to cook them. So
You
I
know
know
how to clean a coon?
Oh, I know how to clean a coon. I just like watching the videos.
Oh, okay.
I was cleaning coon. I was 13
You
years.
got to make sure you get them glands. You'll be all right.
Get the glands and all the fat off. You're good to go.
There you go. Well, yeah, you always get the fat off everything. Yeah, it's like now some people like to leave the yellow on in turtles. I like to take the yellow out.
You got to take the yellow out.
Yeah, I've known a couple people leave the yellow in. I go, oh. So yeah.
Now, turtle eggs, you can leave them in the soup.
Yeah,
They do pretty good. They eat the inside of the egg and the outside's kind of like leather, but they taste good too.
Yeah, so there you go. All right, so now with that going on, let me click this last video here for you, country.
All right, go for it.
All right, let me mute myself here.
Hey y'all, Countryman here. Y'all know my angel's been giving me a lot of spices, and I love her to death. She's a good woman, got big old pretty wings and a halo on her head. And these spices the turmeric here. It's a 7-ounce bag. Well, there's no way that you can use 7 ounces of turmeric at one time. Or the cloves, here's a 7-ounce bag. The garam masala is a 7-ounce bag. So what I'm doing is I'm taking it and I'm putting it in my half-pint canning jars. I've got that garam masala fit right in 2 jars. The cloves fit in 2 jars and had just a little bit left over. I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of my spices here. I've got 3 or 4 more in each one. And I'm going to seal it up. Just put the lids on it now. I got my jars clean and dry and my lids back there already. And this is a dry pack. And when the eagle flies here in about 2 weeks, I'm going to open it back up and put me an oxygen absorber in them. I got them on order. They just hadn't got here yet because I haven't paid for them. But I'm going to put one of those small oxygen absorbers in them and go from there. And that way I can just use what I need and close the lid back up real quick and keep it all nice and dry and the whole bit. And this way I'm a little later on, I plan on building me a spice rack for my kitchen that will just fit these half-pint jars. I believe it would be a nice, pretty way to get the jars out and use your spices and put them back up and save them for either long-term, short-term storage or whatever. So let me get all these back put in the jars and I'll get back to you. Countryman out for now. I'll give you a finished product here when I get done. Hang on. Okay, y'all, here it goes. I've got all my spices in the jars now. They're nice and they're colorful, and they're all the same size, and I love it. I got two over here of garam masala, 2 whole cloves, 2 turmeric powders. I've got a cardamom seed. Those things smell to die for. And I've got Arizona Dream, which is a powder for chilies, chickens, and veggies and stuff. I love that stuff. And then I got my cumin seed, which is everybody uses it, but a lot of Mexicans use it in Mexico for spices in their chilies and their stuff. And I love that stuff. I can nibble on them. Just like they are. Should have been a Mexican. I love their food. Out of all those bags that you've seen, I had a little bit of cloves left there in one bag. But all my empty bags here, you know, time to throw those in the trash can. I've got, you know, all these. And these are airtight. Going to get me some oxygen absorbers and pop in there, and I can open them as I need them. Take out what I need and seal up the rest. And I see no reason that these won't last for years. Versus a plastic bag that once you open it, it's open. You can't really do nothing about it. A couple of them had the Ziploc on the top of them there, but I don't trust those. I'd rather have a good old ball lid and ring there to make sure that they do a good job. Well, let me know what you think. Give me a little while. I'm not even going to say how long it take to get my spice rack, but plan on doing one. I think this is a real good idea, and let me know what you think. Thumbs up, thumbs out, up, down, sideways. Subscribe, cuss me out. God bless. Countryman out for now. Talk to you later.
Well, that was very colorful. I like that, and I do the same thing with my spices here after they're open. Now, while they're still closed, I buy in big quantities of spices, and I can store them that way because I usually buy them in containers that I don't have to break it down right away. But once they're open, they go in jars here, and I've even got some old baby food jars I saved up. I just can't get a seal on it good enough. But if I got smaller containers with spices, I'll put them in baby food jars just because they stack nicer in the. I can see what they are and they stack up better in the cabinet.
There's a website. Can I tell everybody about it?
Yeah,
it's called bulkfoods.com. And you can go in there and.
And who gave you that website?
Willie Wells.
Willie Wells. Yeah,
Willie Wells, the one and only Willie Wells. But he was our link dropper on the other show. But that place, you can go in there and you can buy anything under the sun, any kind of spice you could think. What's that one spice that costs $1,500 an ounce? Saffron. You can even buy that stuff on there, the real stuff. I mean, if you got money, I don't even know how to use the stuff, but it's on there for sale. And you peppers and your garlics and garlic powders and grounds, and if you can name it, they got it. And that's one good website if you want to check it out. It's bulkfoods.com.
Bulkfoods.com. And good old Willie Wells. Yeah, old boy's working as you know what off, so he ain't been on the websites too often. Every once in a while he'll check in with us, but Willie.
I see him on Skype once in a blue moon, but that's about it.
That's about it. Well, country, it's about time for you, buddy.
All right, man.
Any parting comments you want to throw in there?
Well, glad to see everybody in here. I'm glad Cheryl Ann made it, and moving on 04, and glad to see Vicky. I mean, she's been missing in action for God knows how long. Yep. I'm glad to see Big Dirt made it off of his game and came over. So I'm glad to see everybody. If everybody wants to come into the rooms that are sticking out there and not joining us, come on in and ask the questions. Yep. If I can't find it, anybody else can. Somebody else can, and I want to thank everybody for showing up, and God bless everybody, man.
Yeah, every Thursday right here, 8 p.m., Contreeman doing his show. We expect to see you all back.